At this time last year, the New England Patriots, once the NFL's most unflappable dynasty, were reeling. Ultimately, in their first season without Tom Brady, who left for South Florida and promptly led the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to a Super Bowl championship, the Patriots not only missed the playoffs for the first time since 2008, but at 7-9, also stumbled to their worst record since Bill Belichick's first season as head coach in New England back in 2000. It was, as team owner Robert Kraft put it, a horrible season for the Pats. And the uncertainty at the quarterback position specifically cast a pall over the short-term future of the organization. Well, as it turns out, rumors of the Patriots' demise were greatly exaggerated. As the home stretch of the 2021 season looms, the Patriots look like a force to be reckoned with once again, under the trusty stewardship of Belichick, who needs two hands to count his Super Bowl rings, and with first-year quarterback Mac Jones having emerged as the Offensive Rookie of the Year favorite. The Patriots, at 8-4, are back in their customary spot atop the AFC East standings and sit just a half game back of the Baltimore Ravens for the top spot in the conference. So, what's going right for these revamped Patriots? Glad you asked. Sit back, relax, and take this in. Yes, after a dispiriting, destabilizing 2020 season without Brady under center and an inauspicious 1-3 start to the 2021 season, the good times are rolling again in Foxborough, Massachusetts. The Pats are currently rocking the longest active winning streak in the league, having dusted the depleted Tennessee Titans 36-13 on Sunday to extend their winning streak to 6 games. And as they stare down a massive Monday night showdown with the 7-4 Buffalo Bills in Week 13, the Patriots also boast the best point differential in the NFL. Now, as Belichick characteristically cautioned following his team's Week 12 victory over Tennessee, 8 wins aren't enough to win anything or clinch anything, but these new-look Patriots have certainly done enough of late to establish themselves as legitimate Super Bowl contenders. And it's increasingly difficult to shake the parallels between this Patriots team and the early iterations of that Brady-led dynasty. Belichick calling the shots? Check. A robust defense? Check. Steady quarterback play? Check. Jones, whom New England selected 15th overall in last year's draft, has not only already vindicated that decision, but also the Patriots' decision late in training camp to cut veteran Cam Newton in favor of naming the rookie as their starting QB. 2/3 of the way into his first season, Jones doesn't merely lead all rookie quarterbacks in virtually every meaningful statistical category. No, he's distinguishing himself as one of the top QBs in the game. Heading into Week 13, no quarterback in the league has more games with a 95-plus passer rating than Jones, who's also completed more than 70% of his pass attempts on the season and has thrown for 9 touchdowns to just 2 interceptions throughout New England's 6-game winning streak. For the season, Jones's QB rating sits at 97.1. For comparison's sake, when Brady won his first Super Bowl as a 24-year-old first-year starter back in 2001, his QB rating, 86.5. Just saying. And if Jones keeps this up, he's got a chance to cement himself as one of the top rookie QBs ever. In the history of the NFL, only 5 full-time first-year quarterbacks have ever managed a higher passer rating than Jones. It's worth noting that 2 of those dudes, Ben Roethlisberger and Russell Wilson, they've got Super Bowl rings. Big Ben's got 2, in fact. But Jones's increasingly reliable play is just one component of an exceptionally well-balanced and complete football team. In fact, Jones's numbers almost certainly don't look as good had New England's rushing offense not found its groove like it has. Even without a Jonathan Taylor-esque superstar caliber lead back, the Patriots have been virtually unstoppable on the ground of late, averaging a whopping 139 yards of rushing offense per game since Week 5. Over that span, they rank 3rd in the NFL in total rushing yards and rushing touchdowns, with 3rd-year back Damian Harris accounting for 7 TDs alone. Ultimately, with the ground game working and Jones doing his thing, New England has become a real threat offensively. No team is scoring on a higher percentage of its drives than the Patriots, who are at almost 50% for the season. And let's not forget about that defense, the backbone of this re-emergent powerhouse. Between Matt Judon on the pass rush, a formidable linebacker core, and J.C. Jackson holding it down in the secondary, the Patriots have been a nightmare for opposing offenses all season, allowing a minuscule 15.8 points per game, the best mark in the NFL. Only once this season have they allowed more than 28 points in a game, and that was, as it happens, the last time they lost, Week 6 against the Cowboys. Meanwhile, no defense induces turnovers as frequently as the Patriots, who are taking the ball away on nearly 1/5 of their opponent's drives. No team shuts down an opposing offense as effectively either. Opponents are putting up points on just 26.4 of their drives against the Patriots, who own the league's best mark in that department too. Simply put, there don't seem to be any weaknesses with this Patriots team, who, by the way, Vegas pegged as a 30-1 shot to win the Super Bowl back during the preseason. Even their kicker is a stud. Nick Folk, 37 years old, yeah, he's converted by far the most field goals in the league this season and is splitting the uprights at a 91.2% clip. It's worth repeating, of course, as Belichick noted, that an 8-4 record isn't a harbinger necessarily of Super Bowl glory. Now, the Patriots' remaining schedule isn't exactly daunting. They'll close out the regular season with matchups against the Jaguars and Dolphins, respectively, but they do still have 2 games left against the Bills, who aren't going to seed the division without a fight. And while no team has run away with the conference this year, a potential showdown against, say, Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson in a conference championship game, that's a scary hypothetical for any team, no matter how talented or well coached. Still, it's beyond impressive that the Patriots, just one season after looking utterly lost, are not merely on the precipice of the Super Bowl conversation, they're firmly in the mix. But what do you think? Can Belichick and Mac Jones get the Patriots back to the promised land? Or is this simply a hot stretch for a still developing Patriots team? Let us know in the comments and be sure to subscribe to the channel. As always, we appreciate you. We'll see you next time.